my little brother is, and he was kind of like just the shining light of the family. You know, he was always the one to do something crazy, or you know, the one to. If my parents said do this, he was gonna go the other way and do his own thing. He was definitely an individual, and he was in a good way though. You know, he was thought outside the box, things like that. He was he graduated from Arizona Business School. This is 2017. We went for the graduation. He had started this whole time. He was working on a clothing line, athleisure wear line. So he went to Greece with a couple of his frat brothers. They went out there. One of them being from Greece. They went. He was going to shoot some pictures after the graduation, kind of launch the clothing line, things like that, hang out, you know, just celebrate. And so they were out there in Greece, and like it was the last night, they went to a bar, and it was like, from my understanding, it was an area kind of like, well, you're familiar with Texas, kind of like South Padre, you know, like a party island type deal. And there was a bar, it was like a Serbian bar or something like that they went to, and I guess there was an altercation. He took a selfie with one of the bottle girls, and a guy there didn't like it, so they had a little altercation inside, and they were outside afterwards, and then they got separated, and the guy went back in, some more guys came out, and they jumped him outside, kind of chased him and jumped him, and he ended up losing his life out there like that. So it was just a big, you know, I don't know if it was a American thing, a race thing, but it was just, you know, it was really unfortunate the way that went down. So we ended up that was summer of 17 when that happened.
Was there any justice served? Like, was your family ever able to find out who did it? I mean, did they catch the guy?
Yeah, so they got the guys. There was 10 of them, and they had them detained for a while. There's 10 guys, and I think 8 of them are still detained, I believe. I don't want to give you the wrong numbers, but there was a trial in that was the fall of 17. We went to Greece for the trial. And it's just the verdicts we got they weren't really representative of the crime at all. And the prosecutor was, you know, he's like, I've been doing this, you know, so many years, and I've never seen such, you know, misrepresentation of justice. So he pressed for a retrial in the higher court, and we got that, and so that's a good thing. But COVID kind of pushed everything back, and so right now it's looking like the retrial will be in February. So hopefully.
Man, so, you know, all our prayers, warriors out there, you know, definitely
appreciate
praying
that.
for your family, praying for your brother. You said, if I may ask, what was the verdict of the first trial for those individuals?
The verdict was so they don't do like we do. They don't do. Obviously there's no death, no life sentence, anything like that. I think the max is like 20 or 30 years. But there were a couple of guys that they were able to remove from the process, just because the way they're removed, just because of the way their judicial system works, and kind of say, well, whereas to where here would be, you know, if you know, whether you did, you know, whether you tricked the guy or whether you just, you know, pushed him one time, if you were involved, you know, it's all part of the murder. But over there, it's kind of like they were able to pick and choose what certain people did per se, and kind of give them much lesser charges.
So you're saying out of the 10 individuals, 10 people that jumped your one brother,
yes, sir,
they got different charges based on
based on their
their version of the story, basically.
Right, basically. So it was a high, highly populated area, kind of. It was like there's a bunch of cameras and things like that on the sides of buildings. So I think they pieced together what they were able to see from the cameras and like witness accounts and things like that. And then the guys had different representation. Their lawyers would be like, well, you know, my client only did this, or my client only threw a punt, you know, type deal. And they were able to try to separate them instead of charging them all as a combined unit for what happened.